Alright guys, so this is the video to the second half of 10.7, and if you recall, we were talking about equations of circles. And so what we did in the first half is we kind of found the equation when everything's given to us, or we got the equation and we used it to find other things. But here, we're actually going to take a messy equation and put it into the standard equation so that we can pull out those necessary items we need to be successful with circles. So as promised, we will have to complete the square in order to do this successfully. Okay, so our warm-up is just to do a couple problems where we remind ourselves how we complete the square. All right, so contrary to factoring in the quadratic formula, we actually don't want it equal to 0. Okay, remember, we want to move the constant to the other side of the equation. We want to have everything with a variable on one side, and we want to move the constant to the other side. Okay, we also want to make sure that our a value, which is the number in front of our x squared, is 1, which it is. Okay, if it wasn't, remember, we'd have to divide the whole entire equation by that number. Okay, now that we've had those two things, we want to find, I think in class we called it the mystery number. Okay, so we want to find this exact number that when I add to the left side of the equation, it creates a perfect square. Okay, and there's only one number that can do that, and we can find it by using the box. Okay, so I'm going to draw out our box, and I always put our x squared here. And then remember, we wanted to divide the 6x into two equal parts. Okay, so that would be a 3x and a 3x. Okay, we don't know this fourth box here, but this is going to be our mystery number. This number we're going to insert here and here once we find it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and factor this now. Okay, we know that we don't need this box to factor. So if this is an x squared, we have an x times an x. And if this is a 3x, we get a 3. If this is a 3x, we also get a 3. Okay, now that's how we find this. So 3 times 3 gives us 9. 9 is our mystery number, so I'm going to put 9 here and here. Okay, so now that we've found that, I want to take this equation and I want to rewrite it in factored form. So we've already done that. Here's my two factors. So we have x plus 3 times x plus 3. That's going to equal negative 8 plus 9 is just 1. Okay, well, x plus 3 times x plus 3 is x plus 3 squared equals to 1. Okay, and now we're just going to solve from here. So square root both sides, and we get x plus 3 equals, now remember when we square root a 1, it's plus or minus 1, positive or negative. That's because 1 times 1 equals 1, and negative 1 times negative 1 equals 1. All right, so from here, we can make our two equations. Remember, this plus or minus is what gives us our two solutions. So we have x plus 3 equals positive 1, and we have x plus 3 equals negative 1. Okay, now just to solve for x, subtract 3 from both sides, we get x is negative 4. And over here, we subtract 3 from both sides, we get x is negative 2. So there are two solutions. All right, so I want you to go ahead and pause this video and try to do this one on your own, okay? And then we'll come back and I'll show you the answer. So go ahead and pause it and try to work it out on your own. All right, so hopefully you have worked this out on your own. And so remember up here, we want to put everything with a variable to one side, the constant to the other. Then we want our a value to be 1, so I had to divide everything by 6, and you get x squared plus 2x equals 8. Okay, then we have to find this mystery number here that makes the left-hand side of the equation a perfect square. Okay, so to do that, we put these in the box, and remember we have to divide this 2x into two equal parts, so we get x times x. So when we factor, we get x and x, 1 and 1, and then 1 times 1 is 1, which is our mystery number, so we plug it in. Okay, to put it in factored form, from our box we got x plus 1 times x plus 1, 8 plus 1 is 9. So we got x plus 1 squared equals 9, and then we just solve from there. So we should have gotten 2 and negative 4. All right, so let's look at example 4a here. Okay, so here I'm given this big, long, messy looking equation. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete the square twice, one for the x and one for the y. Okay, so this is just a me thing. I like to pair my x's together. Okay, so, and I like to put them in parentheses. That's just a way to tell my brain, hey, these are grouped. And then I like to put my y's together in parentheses. And that's my way of just telling my brain, hey, these are grouped. I want to deal with these together. And then I'm going to move the 16 over. Okay, so from here, I want to complete the square for this, and I want to complete the square for this. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to say x squared minus 8x plus that mystery number, okay, plus y squared plus 4y plus that mystery number. But remember, if I add something to the left-hand side, I have to add it to the right. But I'm actually adding two numbers to the left side, so I'm going to add two numbers to the right side. Okay, so from here, okay, I'm going to put this in the box. Okay, we have our x squared. And how do I split negative 8x into two equal parts? Okay, well, negative 8x divided by 2 is negative 4x and negative 4x. Okay, that's all I have for now. This will be my mystery number, and I'll get it when I factor this out. So x squared, this is just x and x. This is a negative 4. Down here is a negative 4. Now, I find my mystery number by negative 4 times negative 4. Remember, two negatives multiplied equal a positive. So my mystery number on my x is a positive 16. So I want to add that 16 over here as well. Okay, now to do our mystery number for my y's, it's going to be the same process. Okay, so I have y squared. Okay, and here, two numbers that add two equal numbers that add together to be 4y. Well, that would be 2y and 2y. Okay, and then if I factor, this is y times y. This is 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 is my mystery number, so I can put 4 here and 4 right here. All right, so now the hard part's over. Okay, so now if I write this here in factored form, well, it's just x minus 4 times x minus 4, which is x minus 4 squared. Plus, well, this in factored form is just y plus 2 times y plus 2. So this is y plus 2 squared equals, well, 16 plus 16 is 32, plus 4 is 36. Okay, this is the standard equation of a circle. Okay, remember the standard equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is going to equal r squared. Okay, and then our hk is our center, and our r is our radius. Okay, so in this form, some of you, it may help to write it in exact, so to change this here to a negative. So if you wanted to, if it helps you, you don't have to. X minus 4 squared plus, you could do y minus a negative 2 if that helps you. Squared equals 36. If that confused you, forget I even said it. Okay, so now that we have it in standard form, we've already done this. Okay, so to pull out the center, our center will just be, the x value will be 4. The y value will be a negative 2. Okay, and if this is our radius squared, our radius would be the square root of that, so our radius would be 6. Okay, so if we want to graph this, I think it's going to go off the graph a little, but that's okay. Okay, so 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, down 2. Here's my center. Oh, maybe. Here's my center. And if my radius is 6, I'm just going to put 4.6 out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is way out here. Okay. So then we just connect the dots, and my circle is not going to be very good, but hopefully yours is better. Looks something like that. I don't know. Okay. It's hard to draw a circle on this tablet. I apologize, but that's how we would do the process. All right, so let's look at example 4B now, okay? I want you to try this one on your own. So go ahead and pause this video, try it on your own, and then we'll come back and we'll do it. But I do want you to try it on your own. All right, so this is what you should have gotten. Okay, so we start here. We separate our x and our y's. I do that with parentheses. If you don't have to, don't, but I highly encourage you to. Okay, then I want to find my mystery number by both my x and my y. And remember, that mystery number is what makes this a perfect square. There's only one number that can do that. Okay, but if I add these to the left side, I have to add them both to the right side. Okay, when I put it in the box, I split negative 8x into 2 equal parts. That's negative 4x and negative 4x. 6y into 2 equal parts is 3y and 3y. What I get is the mystery number here is 16, mystery number here is 9, so put 16 and 9 in here, 16 and 9 in here. Okay, then if I write it in factored form, well, the x is just x minus 4 squared, the y is y plus 3 squared, and that's going to equal 16. The negative 9 and 9 cancel each other out. Okay, and then if you want to rewrite this to where this is a negative so you can get your k easier, please do it. You don't have to, but you get x minus 4 squared plus either y plus 3 squared or y minus a negative 3 squared, and 16 is just 4 squared. Okay, so from this I can get that our 4, negative 3 is our center, and our radius is 4, so just by plotting the center and then 4 points, and once again, hopefully you can draw your circles better than I can, but this is what your graph should look like.